Well, in Malaysia, a statement in Chinese by the finance minister has sparked debate about the use of languages other than Malay in statements by ministers. The topic has also become political fodder as the former ruling party, UMNO, picks a new leader this weekend. Channel NewsAsia's Sumisha Naidu has more.
It all started with a statement in Mandarin by Finance Minister Guan on his own Facebook page. In the informal post directed at the Chinese press, he defended the issuing of official statements in 3 languages: Malay, the national language, English, and on occasion in Chinese. But then he faced more backlash, slammed this time for posting on Facebook only in Chinese, a practice done by ethnic Chinese ministers in previous governments as well. The Chinese make up almost a quarter of Malaysia's population, while Malays and indigenous communities are the majority. Mr. Lim's Chinese Majority Democratic Action Party had helped Pakatan Harapan command Chinese and minority support to win the recent historic general election. The former two-time Penang Chief Minister has argued that Chinese statements should be fine in this new Malaysia, which he says is inclusive, respectful and diverse. His boss, once head of the Malay-based party UMNO, said he didn't want to dwell on the matter.
It's a minor mistake. I don't want to make it an issue. Sometimes we make mistakes. I think he issued in 3 languages. But for the Chinese audience, he issued in Chinese, that's all.
Still, critics pounced on Mr. Lim's use of the Chinese language, including Khairi Jamaluddin. Mr. Khairi is vying for the president post in UMNO, which is having its watershed elections this weekend following its defeat in May's general election. In his own Facebook post, he said Malay should be prioritized as the national language. He alleges that issuing statements in Chinese could ignite the anger of the ethnic Malay majority, whom he claims have felt challenged in the past few weeks.
So it's an issue that is of sentimental value to UMNO, and especially now that UMNO is no longer in power, it's using this issue to be back in the mainstream and to be of relevance to its voter base, especially. And you can see all these UMNO leaders who are issuing these statements are all contesting in the party elections. Therefore, it is something that appeals directly to the voter base.
I think what is going on is UMNO very opportunistically looking for an issue of convenience to harp upon, because they don't have major issues to criticize the new government for. I mean, you don't have large-scale corruption as was extremely prevalent during the previous administration. So, well, what could you find in order to sort of harp upon in order to prove your relevance?
All this being said, analysts say it would be best for politicians to handle this issue with caution, as national language is indeed something that matters to Malaysia's largest voting group.
As we all know, the Malay identity is very fluid, and therefore the fight, the struggle of the language is one that is very definitive for the Malay identity, and therefore it is an emotive, emotional and sensitive issue, and people should the political stakeholders of today, despite all the changes that's happening in Malaysia, should be wary and should be threading very carefully when it comes to the national language.
Guan has since said that he respects the national language and will continue to use Malay primarily for his official statements. However, he maintains that he'll continue to use Chinese on his social media and to communicate to Chinese press when necessary. Sumisha Naidu, Channel NewsAsia, Kuala Lumpur.